Good day. I am Phuti Ragophala, the retired principal of Bulamadbo Primary School in Limpopo Province, Polokwane, Mankweng, South Africa. I am also one of the honored top 50 finalists in the 2017 Global Teacher Prize. I'll be giving you a brief summary of my reaction to the nomination and also about my teaching and about the teachers who inspired me and motivated me. Well, about my reaction. Even though I'm a retired teacher, I still spent a lot of time teaching. On that specific day, I was voluntarily assisting local teachers and learners in computer programming through Hour of Code. We were at the University of Limpopo. During the course, I had to quickly check upon email that I was expecting from Microsoft. And there was this email from Global Teacher Prize. At that time, I had completely forgotten about the nomination. So I wasn't expecting any email from them. After reading the email, I literally screamed in both shock and excitement. I could not speak. Those people around me were so concerned because they thought that maybe someone has died. We had to stop the entire course because of the commotion and excitement around me. I just could not believe that a retired rural teacher from Africa has been nominated such a prestigious global platform. Well, of course, my dedication and hard work have been recognized in my community and country. I had received a Lifetime Award from Edwick SABC, and also the award from SADC in most influential women in Africa. But this was different. I am representing my country, SADC, and Africa. It is a remarkable feeling I still cannot believe, and one that I'm incredibly thankful and immensely grateful for. I'm now being featured in leading newspapers in South Africa, national radios, national TV stations, and I have full backup of South African government. It has been and still an exciting experience. What I love most about teaching is that it enables me to inspire young minds, to augment the individual natural talent that children have through creativity, innovation, talent searching. It provides me with an immense yet rewarding privilege of producing responsible and educated future leaders. Hence, teaching is often referred as the mother of all the professions. Throughout my vast entire 32 years of teaching and learning, I have taught several subjects. I first started with English in foundation phase for about 10 years, and later social science, economic and management sciences, technology and IT, and all those. But during that time, I had developed a way of teaching social and economic sciences by using technology, especially considering how technology savvy children are these days. For example, in economics, I will teach them about poverty, which is by way very common in the province where we are in South Africa. I will teach them in class on how to fight poverty, and at the same time give them a chance to challenge them on how to come up with ways to fight this poverty. And by allowing them to give me feedback using the PowerPoint, using the technology tools as a way of engaging them in digital tools. But I have to say, my favorite subject that I taught was English in foundation phase. Growing up, I was very shy. I wasn't proficient in English. I struggled to express myself in English as compared to my native language. So while teaching these young minds, I was too learning. I can now confidently say that I'm now a lot more comfortable in communicating in English than before. So while I was teaching, I was too learning. It was a mutually beneficial process. My first and most influential teachers were obviously my parents. My father was a community leader, where time and again they have a community meetings in my home. Through his inspiration, I learned a lot about leadership, how meetings are held, and all those things. From my mom, I learned a lot about praying. I remember sleeping on an empty stomach one night, and my mom still insisted that we pray before we sleep. But growing up, the teacher who inspired me the most was my grade one teacher, Miss Makachi. Shy as I was, she was able to identify and groom a leader in me at a very young age and also motivated me to shine academically. But what touched me most was how even most, I'm sorry, but what touched me most was how even amongst hundreds of children, she would took interest in my personal and domestic affairs. While in school, my mom got extremely ill. I recall how Mrs. Mathachi called me constantly and asked about the health of my mom, and sometimes would give me a time off to go home before the actual school out, just to go and take care of my mom. From her, I learned that as a teacher, you can positively influence a child beyond the classroom. Until this day, I'm inspired by people who voluntarily serve other people, people who want to see others succeed, and people who enjoy serving beyond themselves. Well, people like my mom, people like my mother, people like Oprah Winfrey, who took from her own pocket, built one of the greatest schools, the biggest schools, well resourced in South Africa, and doing that specifically for girls who are from an impoverished family background. Some of these girls are even now in one of the major universities around the world. Opportunities they could have dreamt of. People like the late former President Nelson Mandela, who after serving 27 years in prison, still can forgive the apartheid government in order to forge a peaceful and a united South Africa without civil war. I was also inspired by how, unlike a lot of African leaders, he chose to pass the baton while he was still in the race. He groomed young leaders. He encouraged a lot of women to be in leadership in the government, and he gave them that opportunity to lead. I'm also grateful that during my tenure, I received a lot of support from my staff, from the SGB, from the NGOs, teachers, and from this amazing young mind that I had an opportunity to lead. The Greek philosopher Nikos Kazantzakis once said, true teachers are those who use themselves as bridges over which they invite their student to cross, then, having facilitated their crossing, joyfully collapse, encouraging them to create their own. Thank you. I would say it's far much better